Hello, best friend, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having the most incredible day. This is the first time that you're watching my channel. My name is Sebastian, and I welcome you all with open arms. I spill pop culture tea videos every single day, so if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. All right, best friend, so today we are starting off the week off so strong because Selena Gomez, she is on the cover and the story for Vanity Fair's October issue. She opened up a lot, girl. She opened up a lot. She dropped some bombs. One in particular is, I believe, must have been so difficult for her to talk about. I did a whole separate video on this because I thought it was important. And it was about her not being able to carry her own child. And I decided to do a separate video because I feel like we have to talk a lot about it. But I will say this in this video, I'm so proud of her for opening up and for speaking on this. So let's just jump into this, best friend. It says here, Selena Gomez on her best role yet and romance with Benny Blanco. Quote, I've never been this loved before. Okay, so it says here, her speaking voice is a famously soothing low hum. To say it's unmistakable would be putting it mildly. You try going incognito sounding like Selena Gomez. Quote, yeah, it doesn't work, she tells me, which is, the reporter. Literally one time I was in line for something. I was fully in disguise and I was talking to someone. I don't even remember what I said. And then the woman in front of me goes, my God, it's you. I thought I heard your voice. That was years ago. I was like, oh God, what do I sound like to people? And then I also feel so silly once I get busted. Gomez has long since given up on wigs and hats as cloaking devices. In the 25 years since she debuted on Barney and Friends at the age of 7, she's actually tried to let go of every kind of disguise and be the same person in public and private. It's a gutsy endeavor for someone who, thanks to Instagram, has the slightly scary sounding distinction of being the most followed woman on earth. For 3 years, Gomez has been part of the delicious hit series Only Murders in the Building, and she's just given the rawest performance of her career in the audacious movie musical Emelia Perez. Gomez plays a Mexican drug lord's terrified but widely resourceful wife. When the movie hits theaters in November, her work will surprise the many people who didn't know what a fiery actor she could be. We first met in Los Angeles at the makeup company she founded, Rare Beauty. It's a slow, gray afternoon, but Rare Beauty is flush with positivity from the product names, lipstick in shades like Worthy and Strong, eyeshadow streaks called Integrity and Well-Being, to the little slogans on the bathroom mirrors like Find Comfort in Being Rare. It's all completely in earnest, and the company's products are seriously good. As the rewards, Rare Beauty is reportedly worth $2 billion. Gomez's office is bathed in white, pink, and red. It's a bouquet of a space. When I come in, she's surrounded by the smiling California team that keeps her carefully calibrated days as a movie star, TV star, pop star, beauty executive, and mental health advocate on track. There's a laptop on the desk, a script for Emelia Perez, and a list of questions for a famous friend she met through Taylor, whom she's interviewing for something later. There are personal mementos there too, like family photos and a note from 11-year-old sister Gracie. She's funny, Gomez says warmly. She picks up the note and reads it out loud. Hey sissy, I love you so much. The next time I'm here, can we do each other's makeup and make a get ready with me TikTok? The moment totally tracks. Gomez's friend and Emelia Perez co-star Zoe Saldana tells me later, I don't fit well in circles where people only want to talk about themselves. Selena's not like that, she says. She'll show you 300 pictures of her little sister and parents and grandparents. When Gomez's team flies out, she settles on a couch, the color of molded wine. She looks cozy and hale in a denim-free people jumpsuit and Ugg slippers. Her skin is aglow, her hair voluminous. She is like some other stars of her magnitude. much more slight in person. Her features, right delicate. Gomez redid Rare Beauty's office last year and shared a carousel of photos with her 425 million followers on Instagram at the time of our interview. She's taking a break from the app, but hasn't announced it to her fans, these Selenators, because she has a habit of dramatically announcing social media breaks and logging back on less than 24 hours later to post a selfie or leave a comment somewhere. It's one of her more aggressively relatable habits. This inability to resist the apps after boldly saying she's done with them, she says, I learned not to say that anymore. She deadpans. Right now, she's trying to quietly enjoy her time in the analog world. I've been loving it, she says calmly. I've been working out. I've been taking care of myself. It's the first time I've had a break in a little bit, so I feel good. There's no shortage of things to feel good about. Gomez recently snagged an Emmy nomination for Best Actress in a Comedy for Only Murders, her first ever acting nod, despite working steadily for 2 decades. She says, I freaked out. I went to dinner with my friends that night. Maybe the voters saw something in the past season that they hadn't seen before. Gomez also became the most nominated Latina producer ever in the Best Comedy category thanks to the series. She had no idea she was about to set a record. Quote, when I heard that, I felt like I made my dad's side of the family proud, she says. It was really cool to have that be a part of my story. I'm grateful for breaking barriers. Hopefully, this is not a one-time thing. Gomez's father, Ricardo Joel Gomez, is Mexican-American. He and her mother, the former actor Mandy Tiffy, whom Gomez had credited with steering her through some daunting poverty early on and inspiring her career, named her after the Tejano icon Selena and raised her in a Grand Prairie, Texas. It's empowering and it's it's alleviating. It's like alleviate. I'm so alleviated. Is it alleviated? Girl, whatever. Zaldana says of seeing Gomez make history as a Latina, when you meet her, you get the sense that she is owning her growth and owning her life and her voice. I'm grateful that our paths have crossed. The two of them met in Paris on the set of Emilia Perez, a bold, heartfelt, and visually lush Spanish language musical that's about to have an eventful award season of its own. The film was written and directed by Jacques Audouard. It stars Spanish actor Carla Sofia Gascon in the titular role, a brutal Mexican cartel leader who kidnaps a lawyer, Zaldana, to offer her a job coordinating secret gender confirmation surgery to the kingpin can transmission and leave her old life behind. Gomez plays Jessie, Perez's dormant volcano of a wife. She's a lonely young woman and the mother of their 2 children who's feared from safe house to safe house in armed vehicles laden with security guards. As Emelia finds herself down a different path in life, so does Jessie. She's embottled in to break out of the shell with all kinds of consequences. Gomez calls Emilia Perez a fever dream, but it's not as wild a leap for her as it may appear. She's long pursued supporting roles in unconventional, sometimes risque work by auteurs like Harmony Korine's endlessly zeitgeisty Spring Breakers or Jim zombie comedy The Dead Don't Die. That's intentional, she tells me. I'd rather be a supporting role. I'd rather have 4 scenes in a Martin Scorsese film than be a lead in a movie about a tomboy that comes into her own and falls in love with the boy next door. Ooh, love those movies. Totally watch those movies, but that's not something I'm necessarily interested in. Ooh. Okay. He says, where am I? Gomez says she signed on to Emilia Perez largely because of Gascon, who plays a drug lord, both before her transformation and after, pulling off a riveting dual performances. She actually carried the whole film, and we followed her lead when it came to anything sensitive, Gomez says. She challenged me in some of our scenes. She wasn't afraid to get in my face, and I loved it because I had to match that energy. The musical part of Emelia Perez came easier. Gomez dove into the singing and the often intense choreography, which meant tapping back into her pop persona. I can sing Spanish really well, she says. Having released several songs in Spanish, she says she enjoyed recording the songs for the film, which were written by French singer and lyricist Camille and Clément Ducol. But once fans know she doesn't have plans to release any new music of her own at the moment. She says, I don't know if I'm ready, you know? It's a vulnerable space. Acting has always been my first love. Music is just a hobby that went out of control. Now it's part of who I am, so I don't think I'm going anywhere. I'm just not ready, okay? She says, I love female artists. She says, I've been to all the girls' concerts, Billy, Dua, and of course, she can always pick up the phone and call Taylor, a longtime friend. She's really like a big sister to me, she says. They talk about the industry from time to time, with Gomez seeking advice on music or how to navigate new friendships at their respective levels of fame. More often than not, although they're just gossiping about the things that all friends gossip about, comparing notes on the latest season of Vanderpump Rules and reality TV. She says whenever she's ready to record her own music again, Gomez also has a direct line to one of pop music's prolific producers, Benny Blanco. The two are just friends at the time of their working together in the video I Just Can't Get Enough, but things took a turn for the romantic in July 2023. At first, the pair were relatively low-key, but they've since elevated to full-tilt public adoration, sharing mushy Instagram photos and captions of one another. In his recent public display of affection, Blanco shared a tender throwback photo of him and Gomez on the set of I Can't Get Enough. Says, I used to play a teddy bear in your music video, and now I get to be yours in real life. She says, I've never been loved this way. He's just been a light, a complete light in my life. Though they've worked together for years, fans seem surprised that the two were dating, partly because Gomez is laid back while Blanco, who produced hits like Katy Perry's Teenage Dream, is a world-class yapper whenever the connection is. His brash, enthusiastic openness paired with her dry humor clearly works. I've never been loved this way, Gomez tells me. He's just been a light, a complete light in my life. He's my best friend. I love telling him everything. In May, Benny Blanco was at the Howard Stern show, and he spilled a lot of tea. Says, when he was asked about getting married with Selena, he says, you and me both, Blanco replied. When Howard Stern says that he hopes Benny and Selena get married, he says, you and me both. Gomez smiles at the thought of Blanco saying it so bluntly and openly. He can't lie, she says. After the interview, I was dying laughing like anything else you wanted to put out there. Engagement rumors were flying as the story went to press, but to be clear, marriage isn't an institution that Gomez ever wanted to rush into. Her mother gave birth to her when she was 16, and her parents were only married for a few years. It was hard on me, she says. They were kids, so we were all growing up together. Even before she began dating Benny Blanco, Gomez had a firm plan in place to start a family by the age of 35. Before I met my boyfriend, I was single for 5 years with the exception of going on a few dates, she says. And I was like, okay, if this is the vibe, then what is the most important thing to me? Family. In the past, Gomez has said she would be open to adopting children, partly be inspired by the fact that her mother was adopted. If she hadn't been, I probably wouldn't be here. I don't know what her life would have been like. She and I are very thankful for how it played out. The theme of family pops up again and again, during our conversation. Gomez is a godmother to her cousin Priscilla's 2 children. so she gets front row seats to the wonderful and sometimes brutal experience of being a parent. She keeps it real, Gomez says of her cousin's candor. She's speaking excitedly about this, then briefly pauses. All this talk of motherhood is reminding her of something that's been weighing on her. I haven't ever said this, she says, but I unfortunately can't carry my own children. I have a lot of medical issues that would put my life and the baby's in jeopardy. That was something I had to grieve for a while. Gomez communicates this calmly and without sentimentality. It's not necessarily the way I envisioned it, she says, of becoming a parent one day. I thought it would happen the way it happens for everyone, but I'm in a much better place with that. I find it a blessing that there are wonderful people willing to do surrogacy and adoption, which are both huge possibilities for me. It made me really thankful for this other outlets for people who are dying to be moms. I'm one of those people. I'm excited for what that journey will look like, but it'll look a little different. At the end of the day, I don't care. It'll be mine. It'll be my baby. Her family isn't pressuring her into marriage, by the way, nor is she pressuring Blanco. We've always made sure we're protecting what we have, but there's no rule, she says. I want him to always be himself. I always want to be myself. She means that in another way too. I'm not changing my name no matter what. I am Selena Gomez. That's it. Ooh, Selena. Okay, girl. Whew. It's a long article, boo. Gomez has been managing Gomez has been managing not just her personal life in public view for years, but her health as well, particularly since 2013, when she was diagnosed with lupus. She first spoke about her diagnosis in an interview with Billboard in 2015, sharing that she underwent chemotherapy to treat the chronic autoimmune illness, which causes the body's immune system to attack healthy tissue and can cause inflammation and affect internal organs. Gomez was on her first solo tour, Stars Dance, when she was diagnosed and had gotten through nearly 60 shows before. She had to cancel the rest and get treatment. In 2017, Gomez revealed on Instagram that she had gotten kidney transplant, sharing a photo of herself and close friend Francia Raiza. There aren't words to describe how I can possibly thank my beautiful friend Francia Raiza, Gomez wrote in her caption. While Gomez was dealing with lupus, she was also contending with serious mental health struggles, which got a close-up in the shattering 2022 documentary My Mind and Me. That movie, it's amazing. Okay, so the movie, so it was supposed to be sort of like a documentary, more like a fun, artful way to capture the revival tour, but it quickly morphed. It quickly morphed as she began struggling with panic attacks, anxiety, and debilitating depression. At one point, she's like, I don't want to be alive right now. Her former assistant, Teresa, says in the documentary, I don't want to live. It was one of those moments where you look in her eyes and there's nothing there. It was just pitch black. I have my days like everyone else, but I'm no victim. I just survived a lot. There isn't a part of me that wants anyone to feel sorry for me. Yes. So the tour was canceled, but her mental health did not improve, and she suffered a breakdown in 2018. My Mind and Me is such a revealing document of pain that Gomez says she got cold feet a few weeks before it was set to be released. I asked my team if it was possible to pull out. She tells me, lawyers got involved, but we never took it to Apple because everything was locked. When the movie came out, I didn't look at anything for a few days, and then I was scared to leave the house. She was paralyzed by the thought of the movie being out in the world, but found it her footing again, partly because fans facing similar battles shared their stories with her. I just want to embrace it, she says, and I feel like it was really good. However, she continues determined to add a postscript. I like to remind people that it's definitely nowhere close to where I am now. My mind was not right and chemically imbalanced, and it was really difficult. People were calling me a victim. That frustrates me because being vulnerable is actually one of the strongest things you can do. The narrative is not going to take over my life. I'm grateful every day, and I have my days like everyone else, but I'm no victim. I just survived a lot. There isn't a part of me that wants anyone to feel sorry for me. Gomez is still on a journey with her mental health, but has tools and protocols to take care of herself. She loves using temperature as a healing mechanism and finds cold water or space heaters to be soothing at different times. She'll also do a mental exercise that's hugely helpful. I remind myself that I'm okay, I'm grounded. I ground myself for a moment. Where am I? Am I sitting in the office? Everybody that I love is out there. There's food, I can get something to eat. I can take a nap here before I leave. I put myself into the present. I'm ready for it all. It's just now I'm properly medicated. Gomez donates a portion of sales from the Rare Beauty products to the Rare Impact Fund. Her aim is to raise $100 million, and it's already raised about $15 million. She says, I know it seems impossible when, reaching the $100 million goal, but it's important to me because it's a crisis. There are a lot of people from every part of the world dealing with so much who are not properly educated on it and don't know where to go. I want to be accessible. There's Planned Parenthood. That's a resource for women. I wish we had a version of that for mental health. It would be so powerful if someone was not to be too heavy, but to try to take their life and then decide to go to Planned Parenthood, or the facility that was free. She says, I have big dreams for that I would like to see one day. The next time I speak to Gomez, it's at the tail end of July, just after her 32nd birthday. She's preparing for life to get intense again with promotion duties for both Emelia Perez and Only Murders in the Building. One thing about Selena that I'm so proud of her is that she is so incredibly open, best friend. She's not scared to really just open up and to be herself and to be, so vulnerable, opening up about children, about marriage, about her past, about her not being a victim. Like, I'm so proud of her, and I'm so determined to keep sharing her words because she is such an inspiration, and I know that there are so many people out there who might be going through the same thing. And to hear Selena Gomez talk like that, I think it's amazing. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Go show Selena some love. And I'm so grateful that you would join me with this story time. I felt like I was reading a book in class. I know that I messed up on some words, girl. But when there's a lot of words, my dyslexia is like, jumping up and down. And frankly, some words I just don't even know how to pronounce them. So sorry about that, girl. But I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah.